This is Irontrader. It is Tuesday morning, so as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. Now remember, the API number for crude oil will be out today at 4:30. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, before we get to the charts here, first thing we're going to look at here is going to be a seasonality chart here on crude. Okay, so this is what I usually do is I buy this right here after the first of the year. We get this nice dip here in January, and then I just take the trade long. Okay, so what we have is this is a seasonality. Now this chart is over a 20-year period. Now it doesn't play out like that every time, but this is really the basics of it. Okay, so now we got Memorial Day coming up here. You got 4th of July, summer driving. August is always a very volatile month because you're going into that hurricane season, which lasts all the way until the end of September. So you can look at the chart here where you can just see how crude oil, they just rise right up here until you get September. Then what I usually do at the first week of October is I short this. Okay, I short crude oil here till the first week here of December. And then what you want to do here about the second week, third week in December, you want to take it long into the first week of January because this is what happens. It pops right on up. That's where you dump it again, okay? Now, sometimes I can take it short here, but most of the time I just back off, and then what I'll do is just take that long trade here again. So anytime you want to look at any kind of a seasonality chart, just punch up equityclock.com. Anything that you want to do, gold, silver, and the gasoline, whatever you want to do, it's all right there for you. Okay, let's get back to the regular charts here. Okay, here we have the crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, crude oil here is coming off here. Very simple reason is because it looks like they might have some kind of a peace agreement there in the Middle East. We got to see how it all shakes out. But if we look at yesterday, we put in 77.91, and the previous day was 77.96. So we had just a bit lower low. Today here so far, you got a low of 78.09. And then we have a high of 79.02. Yesterday's high was 79.09. So right now, as of right now, we have what they call an inside day, where your high and your low is the inside of the high and low of the previous day. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. But right now, we got some sideways action, and we're holding near key support levels here so far. Okay, so really what you can see the old sticky candle here, see how that went up there, went right into that 50-day and then pulled back. So let's look at the downside first. So we want to look right here at that 78.27. That's going to be key. And then we want to look at this 100-day. You're looking at 78.12. Okay. Now, again, if that's lost, then we'll go to yesterday's low. That's at 77.91. Okay, now if that is lost, you say, okay, boom, that's gone. Well, then we just follow the candles down right here. Okay, see what we have here? You got 77.57, we have 77.34, and then we'll be looking for 76.79. Okay, so bring that price channel right across. That's what you have, okay? And then we can look up here. We have a 76.32. Then we'll bring this price channel right across, and what we have is you have 75.84, and we can all come all the way down here to 75.52. You take that lower price channel, and that is going to be your support level until we hit this bad boy right here, this 200-day at 75.24. That's your 200 simple moving average. But right now, what we do is we just have the sideways action. And so if we can hold this 21-day and this 100-day, maybe we get some sideways action going right on up. Now, what I don't like about this here is a couple things here. See, head and shoulders pattern. See, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and where to go all the way on down. Okay. Another thing I don't like about this is right here. See this 8 SMA? You crossed over the 21-day, crossed over the 50-day, and now we're crossed over the 200-day. So for this price to rise up here, that 8 is going to be a real bitch. Okay, like that's just the easiest way to put it. See how it is? You just fight it the whole way until you can get back above it. Okay, so very key. Here's another perfect example. Even though you go higher, where did it close? Below the 8 SMA. Below the 8 SMA. See, below, and then below. Okay, see, that's the key. Now, again, I always point out the 8 and the 21-day. If you can get above that 8, then the next one, look at here, hard resistance is that 21 SMA. Okay, boom, right on into it. Okay, so now what we have to do is just watch these key levels, that 21, that 100-day, and then yesterday's low. Okay, if that is lost, then we just look to the left of the chart, but your big target is going to be right there at 75.24. Now, upside, Well, you always want to look at yesterday's high. That's 79.09. You say, well, why did it stop there? Well, what you do is always look at the high, the low, and the closing. You had when it closed at 79.06. Yesterday was 79.09. Okay, 3 cents higher, but that was your resistant level. Okay, so if we can go higher, then we'll look at right at this candle here. You're looking at 79.63. Then we have 79.90. And now what we have here is we have this 80.14, but now we got this 8 SMA right here, just below it here at 80.13. So that's going to be a real big time resistance if this starts to run up. But right now we got sideways action. RSI here, well, that doesn't really tell you anything. That could go lower. It's not really what you call oversold there yet. Your green below the red shows you it's got momentum, but it's right to the downside. Okay, see how that is? When the green goes below the red, that's to the downside. Green goes above the red, this is what you get. Okay, but what I'm looking for here is a bottoming tail on a candlestick. Okay, see something like on this order. Okay, something like this. Okay, even like something like old sticky here. See that? See the bottoming candles where it comes all the way on down, and you have the red candles, and this shows all the way down. So everybody's looking at, boom, this is going to go lower, and then you get that short squeeze up. So every big time rally is going to be off of a short squeeze. That's how it comes. And then you close high, and then you just roll up. Right now, we have none of that. We just have sideways action, and it's really all revolving around that Middle East war. If they can get that settled, if they can't get it settled, that whole situation is what they're looking at right now. Okay, so you got to be a little patient here with the crude. But again, you got seasonality in play here. Remember, you got the summer driving coming up here, and then you got that August month, and then you got that hurricane season. If you get a bad hurricane, terrible for people, but for an oil trader here, it rises crude oil and natural gas. Okay, speaking of natural gas, let's take a look at natty gas. Okay, here we have natural gas here on your 5-minute chart. Now, this is why I sold natural gas yesterday. Okay, you see the run that it had. You're going above that 8-day. And I always say when you lose that 8-day, then look to the next one is that 21-day. Well, it just kept on riding it all the way and up. Now, when you see this, you see a topping tail, okay, and then you see a red candle. That is what, like another topping tail, that is what they call a tweezer top, okay? So what you always want to do is you want to sell that. Now, look how nice it came and went right below that key 8 simple moving average and then went all the way on down, okay? So that's what you want to do is you want to get out of that trade, okay? And then it went sideways. Now we have to look at what do we have going on here, okay? So now what it is, it went sideways, but now look at here. See, we're back above that 8 simple moving average. Okay, see? So this is how you always want to do it. So you can go sideways, but again, when it gets below that 8 SMA, you dump your position, short it, however you trade, and then sideways action. But now once you went above it, that tells you got to get a long. As long as it stays above that 8-day, you're doing really good. Okay, so that's how you trade on the 5-minute chart. Okay, it gives you a lot of, but again, it's a fast trade. This is not something where you just say buy and hold it, but this is what you want to do is just watch that 8-day. So when it comes below, like it did yesterday, okay, like here, that tells you that you got to get out of that trade, especially when you put that tweezer top in there. Then it comes all the way on down here. Okay, all right, let's take a look here on a daily and a weekly. Okay, weekly chart here, looking here pretty good. Okay. So here's what we have here on your, this is what you're looking for, okay? This needs to hold, this 21-day here needs to hold here by Friday. That's very key level, okay? But now you can see where your 8-day is starting to roll up here. Very nice, okay? So this is, if it can hold it, then we have a good shot at taking this much higher here, all the way to that 2.48 level. Now, yesterday here, we put in like a topping tail situation, okay? And then you can see, I always say when it gets outside of these price channels, eventually it wants to come back in. Okay, so just like here, we had the 3 days and then it wants to come back in. Okay, we had 2 days, it wants to come back in. Now, what do we have here? Today's low so far was 2.14. Yesterday's low was 2.13. So we have a higher low situation and we have a bottoming tail going on here. So this is actually very good because we still have an inside day, okay? Your high, your low is within inside of the high and low of the previous day, but we have a higher low situation and now we're back inside that price channel, which is always good, okay? So that's what we're always looking for. So now what we want to do is on the upside, take a look at the upside, is we want to watch yesterday's high. That's at 2.262, okay? So that's going to be very, very key there on the upside. If we can get above all that, then what we do is we just come right here to the left, and then what we do is we just follow this candle. You look at there, that's 2.27, and then we have 2.29. And then we want to come right here to this candle. This is 2.31, and then we come to this candle. You're looking at 2.32, and then right here is your gap fill at 2.42. So those are your upside targets here if, again, if you can crack this 2.26 level here, okay? So then just look right there to the left, 2.31, 2.32, and there's your gap fill at 2.42. There was your gap. Now you're in the middle of that gap, so now there's your fill. And then we have this basically a 2.47 here, your 200 SMA here, and then we have your 2.48. That is going to be your upside targets. Now, downside. Well, you obviously, what you want to watch is you want to watch the top of this candle. This is 2.16, okay? And then we want to watch yesterday's low at 2.13, and then we have this 2.9. This is very, very key level here, which is lining up very, very nice here now with this 8 SMA here, okay? So just below at that 2.05. Let me see if I can big this up a little bit here, make it a little more clear. Okay, so again, just watch the top of that candle on the downside, 2.16. Watch yesterday's low, 2.13, okay? And then we have the top of this candle at 2.09. You have your 100-day sitting at 2.08. And then if that's lost, we have this 8-day. But look how nice this 8-day is moving up here. You cross the 50, cross the 21-day, and now she's rolling up. Again, like I always say, when that price is above the 8 SMA here, you can go higher. Once it gets below, this is what you get, okay? It goes down. That 8-day is a lot stronger than it is. But so you have to use that to your advantage, okay? So when you see that, now it's about to cross the 100-day, that could push this natural gas here up, much higher. Is kind of situation that we're kind of looking for. But let's just see how it all shakes out here today. But as I say, just watch on the downside at 2.16, and then yesterday's low at that 2.13, and then come right over here to this 2.9 level here, and then we have that 8 SMA. Upside, watch yesterday's high, 2.26, very, very key. If you can get above that, then here's going to be your target at that 2.31, 2.32, and then we're going to have that gap fill at 2.42, okay? So weekly here, by Friday, we want to hold that 21-day. If that's lost, then we have the 8-day right underneath there, but that's what we want to hold. Now, when you look at your MACD, your green is above your red, shows, momentum, but to the upside, RSI, plenty, relative strength, plenty room to run on the upside. The green above the red here on your MACD on your daily, looking very good, and we still have room to run here on your RSI. So let's just see how this all going to shake out. It could be just a sideways action here today. Don't get too excited here. Just remember, don't trade what you want. Don't trade what you think is going to happen. Just trade what is in front of you. That's always the key. Now, can it go up to there? Absolutely. Can it go all the way down here? Absolutely. Okay, so that's the key what you want to watch. So inside day, high and low, closing number. This is the area that you want to watch. Okay, I'll be back here midday trading. We'll take a look and see what natural gas is doing and see what crude oil is doing, and then we always throw something else in the old mix. Okay, thanks for watching.